Yes, welcome on the Cube.
Hey,
Faddy's late.
Yeah. I know.
Do you know why?
Because he was at your game last night.
Was he?
Aye.
Was he?
How'd you get that? I think
I saw him in the... I was
just another baldy bastard, mate. That was the Faddy. No, Faddy's there. He stayed at Jonathan Sunderland's house last night. So.
Johnny.
Hey, congratulations, mate.
Thanks,
well
mate.
done.
We Tom Tuchel, innit? We German there. Did you see him last night? Did you see him last night? Like Kennedy farted, he hot the dugout. Fucking bastard.
Right up his arse.
You were like that tune, the fart. I was pissing.
Was it?
Oh, mate.
That sketch? Oh, no, mate. That's it, yeah. Boys were brilliant for, weren't they?
Aye, good.
Boys were excellent.
I didn't realise how good a player you've got at the club. Very good players.
Great players, mate.
Must be paying them well, eh?
That'll be it, innit? Because you're usually always right because of the budget. Have we got a bigger budget in here? Is that what it is?
The calibre of player you've got, hey.
Really good.
I know a few of them, like, kind of having watched them in the past 5-6 years. So, aye. What are you going to say, Dad? Sorry.
I agree with you. I hate that. Oh, they've paid a few quid.
Aye.
Your organisation, everything about it, that's what you look
style
at.
Of football
and by the way, getting best out of players in the right position.
Hey, and your goalie, I love how he can ping a ball.
Brilliant,
some midfielders can't even ping a ball at him.
They'll see when teams sit off us, right, and they go like a two-man press, we just tell them to just walk the ball past their two centre forwards, mate, and he just goes and pings the ball a bit like that.
Do you know something? Right, does he must take part in possession and all that. If you do possession, whatever you do, you could play him out.
So see, every day it's like possession based, so the goalie will be on the possession in terms of when you've got the ball, and then if we beat the press, we'll go and attack the other goalie, and then he'll play it, so both goalies get a chance of playing out, but also defending as well.
I'd like to see him playing out.
He's buzzing this
morning. Come and watch training, mate. Come and watch the goalie train, it's incredible.
I think you should play him.
Play him centre mid?
Aye, centre mid.
If we win the league, we'll play him centre mid.
Aye, good. I like him.
Trust Trophy final, we'll be there.
He's ever get anywhere in the Trust Trophy?
The Kilby. The only thing I'll say about your team, right?
Right, go for it.
You've got to admit, your strips are fucking awful. Bad are they, mate? I couldn't sign for you. They wouldn't go with the colour of my hair, my eyes and all that.
You get merchandise. I saw the guy was at half time. There's a boy.
There's a wee shop, mate. Is there a wee shop?
Get some EK stuff.
Talking to merchandise, he's only gave it the 350 quid Calvin Green body warmer.
Hey, top-notch stuff. Golfing gear, innit? Can't hide money. Imagine that had sleeves on it. It'd be about 600 quid then, wouldn't it?
I did have sleeves. The ones adjustable you put on.
Oh, come on. You've got adjustable. Come on, you.
What have you got in the day? Is this a boys' jacket?
It's a Zara.
I like Zara.
Zara's brilliant.
I'm a bit old for a Zara, but I'm
and Marks and Spencer. How
Marks and Spencer's
that's
brilliant,
me getting old. I'm attracted to Marks and Spencer now. So it is.
I seen you in the women's section. What was that about?
Oh, aye.
Sniffing the boys. This is H&M, 12 quid in the sale.
Mate, I liked that. I admired that when you come in.
Wee Thomas Tuchel.
Wee Tam.
Camouflage.
Any camouflage. I'm going down to Manchester after this, lad, so we need to hurry it up.
Is that how you get that on? That's a kind of Manchester vibe, innit?
Manchester.
Can't it be Manchester, mate? Manchester.
Favourite Manchester band?
Oh, you can't say Oasis.
No Oasis.
I don't know any.
Happy Mondays.
Happy Mondays. Aye.
Oh, fuck off.
You're twisting my melon, man.
Yes, love it, Derek.
Some of the Happy Monday stuff was good. It was.
Name the lead singer. There you go.
Oh, Bez is the one, the maracas. He just, that's a Joe Bad I loved.
He's in, let's see it.
Oh, playing with the maracas, aye.
Says your maracas.
So what is his name? Hold on.
Shaun Ryder.
And Sean is a good old baldy guy.
He's in Gogglebox, isn't he?
In Gogglebox. So is Bez.
Bez
is my melon, man.
Bez is, he looks well now, doesn't he?
No, he
squared himself up. He's doing shows and all that out there.
So you're going to Manchester, mate?
Manchester, going to a concert tonight, 9 o'clock.
All right,
love it.
Good stuff.
So we're out all day, can't wait, mate.
Who's that way?
The only thing is it'll get awkward after a couple of hours, won't it?
How?
Run out of things to talk about.
Was this you and the missus?
Fuck, that's no way you're doing. You're not even
Speaking of you lot, actually, after the hydro, remember you were trying to fire into it? You and her sister, you were trying to fire into it.
Well, by the way.
So had me getting to a wonder bar. That's the
I'm glad you threw that out there.
Any pet peeves this week, lads? Anything that's doing your nothing?
Aye, which doing my nothing?
Right, on you go.
Right.
You go first, man.
People that are putting fucking Christmas trees up.
No, I love that.
Mate,
I love that.
Seriously, that's too early.
I agree, mate.
Come on.
December, innit? December you put the Christmas tree.
1st of December, celebrate it, it's a month, fine, I've no problem. were now going by Windies in their Christmas.
What are you doing looking in people's windies, you pervert?
Car windies, not Saturday Park.
With my ladder.
Big Christmas tree on the windscreen. What about you?
My body.
Is it fucked me?
My knee's gubbed. I'm my wit's end, so I'm
but you're not getting it for then?
I'm going to approve on that. Well, the missus fell out at me because I could have got it done in October and I put it off for a couple of reasons and she wasn't happy, but I need to get it done now. I'm getting it done. So I'm just
a full new knee.
Say that again?
I know, I struggled there for my teeth nearly fell. New knee.
A new knee, that's what I want.
I've got a pet couple.
Oh, you've had a hip, so...
Yes.
Have you had a hip replacement?
You said the hip done, so...
Honestly.
Because you were...
you know why that is bad,
I had to have a hip replacement.
Old snake hips there, man. When you're a piston like he is, that pumps away like every night, man, you know, so there's going to be a bit of wear and tear there.
I just want
to... Do you want to know what I know?
Try get in position and start fucking coursing.
And the motor is a bit awkward, isn't it? That's when you need to open the windies.
Well, I don't know if you've seen it, but the fans are now getting involved more. So, because we're the podcast of the people, I'm going to give you a couple of fans' pet peeves. So this is David Sinclair, right?
Stuff, right.
Pet peeve, mate. People who say, so I did, at the end of every sentence. Even worse when they write at the end of a Facebook post. Just went to, as this, so I did. Your wee mate Derek Ferguson is the world's worst for it, so he is.
So fuck.
I've never.
I bothered, mate.
And David Air, he said this 2 days ago, so we pumped him for you, mate.
Aye, good man.
This is the things I do for you.
So you did.
Pumped him, so I did. Next one, because this is good for you as well. You've both done radio shows. You ready? This is Hayley Mills. She goes to my gym.
Right.
She's a cracker. Her boyfriend's also a cracker. He's the physio for Queen's Park, Ewan.
Right.
So they're a handsome couple. They go about the gym. So pet peeve, people that phone into radio shows, especially a well-known West of Scotland football, phone in and say, "You'll remember the last time I phoned." No one remembers you phoning in before.
By the way, that is so true. Right? Aye. You know what? I'm always on the phone, Gordon, and we're all looking at each other going, "What the fuck is this?" Right? The only one's Big Laurie for Denison.
Aye.
Right, that's the only one.
Great voice he's got, innit?
Has he?
Oh,
The minute you hear his voice, gentleman,
well,
good evening.
Is he a clever guy?
Big words.
Oh, he was
very distinguished.
Is he alright, Laurie for Denison?
Ventriloquist.
That's the only one I can recognise when he comes on. See the rest of them, you're like, who the fuck are you, mate? Right. You know,
have you got a favourite caller?
A favourite caller? Oh, Laurie was
Big Laurie, aye.
Who does he challenge?
I've listened in.
I love Hugh. Him and
He's
Hugh.
a Celtic man, isn't he? He's a big Celtic man. Big Celtic supporter.
Him and Hugh have this conversation that we can't understand. They're using words that you're thinking, fuck me.
Ventriloquist.
Aye.
They use that a lot.
Very, very good. But no, they're film for a while.
Right. Who's your favourite guy that's ever? Is there a guy that you've ever argued with, like, frequently, or is that just one?
Oh no, boy phoned in and absolutely caned me last week.
Hey.
I think his name was John or something. He says that we were too hard on.
He had a hard on?
Too hard on. Get many of them.
He phoned in about your hard on, was you?
And he asked me, went, "Aye, you're always getting on to Rangers negative and all that, the style of play." Then he went like to me, he says, "Hey DL, who did you play under? Who's the manager when you were there?" I went, "Jock Walsh and John Gregg." Aye, that's it. You were rotten as well. You'd no style of play. You'd nothing about you. Mate, he went for about 5 minutes at me.
Just a personal attack.
Terrible.
He's found messages for you and he's missed his phone. That's what it is.
On Greg and Wallace as well. Was it a slight on them?
See, to be fair, he was right about me. I've not got a problem with that.
No,
I wasn't the fucking best, but to have a go at the
I tell you what, I remember your attitude could have been a wee bit better.
You go fuck yourself. What are you talking about?
It could have been a wee bit better.
I'm just going to leave you to sitting there.
I feel like you're done. Your attitude could have been a wee bit better, by the way.
Fucking kebab shop, you and Gerani fucking pissing on the side of the wads. I was a true professional.
You were supposed to be an inspiration to me.
Was he a bad example, huh?
I'm not going to go into too deep, but he was a bit carefree at that time. Right. So he was Daz. Look,
I think how many people they gave the right arm to play for Rangers and you just took the piss.
No, a bit careful, but
I think that's...
what you see is what you get, because it was always good entertainment, good laugh as well, you know. And I've always said, as a player, He could finish. He was lightning quick.
Well,
but a bit of a carefree attitude at times.
So, my attitude was right, you prick. What are you talking about? You go and get Archie, you'll fucking need him.
Archie will fucking knock you out.
Is that?
Archie, honestly, he doesn't fuck it.
I seen a belter, a picture of you and Barry this week. So it's Barry scoring for Rangers and you're standing fucking gutted.
What was that? Dunfermline.
Dunfermline.
Well, that's when I was there. See, if you look back at that game, it's as if, see the footage, I've watched it back, some of the games. It's as if I'm going on a skateboard, because my knee doesn't bend. I'm running about. And I tell you...
So you're right up against Barry? Centre mid.
Aye, well, he was a kind of more of a sitter and I was a sitter, so it was very rarely. But
did you smash on?
No, didn't even get that close to Rangers that day. Our tactics that day were Owen Coyley and Big Smudger, Big Smithy up top.
Andy Smith. Some set of lugs on him, innit?
Was to leave.
He can get some reception.
Good players. By the way, they two were brilliant, especially Coyley. Coyley was very clever, and it was under Dick Campbell and that. But it was Amoruso played, and the tactics were at times you just to leave Amoruso on the ball, let him get comfortable, and then there would a period. Then he would be slack, and they would jump, and that was like you talk about the press. So even away back in that day, like Coyley and like Smudger, and they were more the kind of experienced boys, clever guys, and they kind of instigated that. Didn't they even come for the side? Came for them as players.
Love
they were clever.
Did you and Barry argue on the pitch?
No. Listen,
what about the night before and that? Did you talk the day before, night before?
Aye, and I think if you see footage at the end of the game, it's when it's your wee brother, and you know he's at the top of his game and who he's playing alongside. Aye, it's a kind of proud moment as well. Of course, you want to win. We get beat 2-0 that day.
He celebrated both goals.
Imagine that. Andy Halliday was in the back on Barry's shoulder.
So did you go bottom bunk that night and let Barry have the top bunk? Right, lads, as ever, the Cooping Show is brought to you by our partners at...
we're
SBK, you should know it.
So I know, that's your job.
This week, SBK have two brilliant offers for you on both upcoming Scotland games. The big offers are a 25% bet builder boost on Scotland v Croatia and a 50% bet builder boost on Poland v Scotland. Link to sign up to the accounts in the description box below. Point down the way. I know what you usually point down the way for. T&Cs do apply. 18 plus, please gamble responsibly. Right, on the Gator game last night, did you watch it?
I didn't.
You never got a text fees after the game. It would have been nice to just say well done.
I went straight to my kip. I had iced my knee straight to my... Sorry, but listen, I watched these after.
Did you have a couple of wines watching it?
No, I don't drink during the week.
Is that you off it during the week?
Aye.
You watched it for you missed the first 20 minutes.
Aye, it was me missed the first, but I was very impressed with your style of playing all that.
But where were you the first 20 minutes? What was more important?
First 20 minutes, what was it? I can't even remember.
Rangers 9 in a row DVD, you're watching that. But you watch a full line?
Reading Mark Haley's book. I was on last night and then I was travelling home. So
you never watched that either?
I only seen a bit of it.
Oh, that's what I was doing. I was doing a thing for one of my mates, a podcast thing.
Oh, you're right.
Fucking lie that.
That guy. Well, I'm no mention with Charlie Miller.
Oh, your podcast, right? Okay, that's fine.
Sorry, and that's why once that finished, that's when Darren came in and went, why are you not watching the game? Because I was distracted. You get distracted sometimes with Rangers in this day and age, don't you?
Yeah. I think, was that an angry podcast?
Aye, pretty. Aye. There was but the one thing we're all singing off the same hymn sheet in terms of where we think Rangers are at the minute. So, aye. So it's no the greatest at the moment.
Talking of singing off the same hymn sheet, I wanted to get your opinion on this. What did you make of Chris Wilde? Did you see that? Sheffield United beat Sheffield Wednesday and then he was in a Sheffield United pub singing songs with all the fans in it.
With the fans?
For or against it? You like that or no?
Nah, I'm against it. I'm against it.
I'm all for it.
Nick Kennedy was in Black Rooster last night singing songs.
Drinking
curry sauce.
Drinking curry sauce.
Against that?
I'm against that.
Yeah, he's getting a bit of stick for it.
Is he? Listen, you won a derby.
The fans love that shit, didn't they?
They do. See when I was you're talking about here that you beat last night, see when the derby come up against Kilmarnock, especially my first one, I get hounded with people in the street going, don't care if you win another game, right? Beat Kilmarnock. Beat Kilmarnock. By the way, seeing I beat Kilmarnock and then I lost the next game, they wanted me fucking out. Get him to fuck.
That's it.
But things like that, but I never get hung up in the fact that, you won a derby. Because 2 results down the road.
You're under pressure.
You don't, listen.
You ever get a manager like that? Would join in with the boys and come out and drink with the boys? Ever have that?
Aye. Gordon Dalziel.
Remember Ireland?
I was up the balcony watching it. But you were
So he was the manager?
Aye. It's like that day I came in, remember a couple of weeks ago? I stood behind him for about 10 minutes. Aye, and he was waxing lyrical about, past times.
Yeah.
So that was me up on top of the balcony. I was sitting watching him, listening to him.
I've got them right over, wasn't it?
Aye.
Got them in Belfast. We're going out for pre-season. So I've got Big Sean and there's a hen night in.
Aye, just right down the street.
So I'm doing, but I don't know. He's fucking up the stage.
I'm watching it.
Listening to him.
I'm organising the full Saturday night, let me tell you. By the way, that's the only time I was like to boys, you go, you get yourself out there.
What were you saying? It's Calvin Greenhead.
I was like, a few of the boys, come on, listen to the gaffer. He's off and running at Kempton.
Tell me this, did he do that? Right, one manager that'll definitely not be drinking with fans just now is David Gray. What a week for him. What's your thoughts? The came out back to him. What's your thoughts on that?
I would be drinking with the fans because I'd be celebrating that. I thought David Gray was under a wee bit of pressure. Do you know, in a way, I'm quite happy that, because people keep going, you can't keep sacking managers. But if you look, Aberdeen sacked a lot of managers, right? And people are going, you can't keep sacking managers. They eventually found the right one. I don't think David Gray's the right fit for Hibs, right? I think he's been thrown in too early, and I think that's what happens sometimes. You look at Naismith Hearts, for coaching right in there. Sometimes you've got to go and learn your trade a little bit. I know that it can work for other people, but I think for David Gray, he's never experienced how to handle what's happening to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
See the beginning and everything works for you. It's brilliant. You can go on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
See the minute the criticism comes, people are questioning you, the press, how do you feel about your job? You're standing there, and especially after a game, you've just lost a game. You don't know how to handle that. You'll go away on a Saturday night or a Sunday and think to yourself, I wish I'd have taken a deep breath there and said something else. But in a slight...
But see, when he has been interviewed, I've been really impressed with him.
He talks
really, and he's very honest. And listen, even on Saturday when they were woeful in that first 45 minutes, I just thought he was maybe, and this is just me, maybe he was a wee bit too protective of some of the players. He's got to keep them with him. I get that, but I sometimes think, there's a time and a place to call out a few, because it clearly wasn't good enough. But just listen to him. I'm delighted. I'm like you. I'm so happy that they haven't just pulled the trigger and he has got more time, because he's honest, he knows the game, but he is in a situation what Daz is describing. He's never been in that position before. But what he did say, and I heard him on Saturday as well, saying that this maybe kind of worries you a wee bit in terms of how he's thinking. He says, this will stand me in good stead.
So, I feel ends for it. If he can get out the other end.
That doesn't sound like a guy that's going to be in that job long term. And maybe I'm just, and it was one of the guys that picked up on it, but maybe you're kind of nitpicking there. But I'm just really impressed with him. Everything he's having to deal with, everything, because there's really is, and it looks from the outside looking in, and I know we've got a Hibs supporter in the vicinity, but there looks a disconnect, big disconnect between the fans and that board, the guys that are the owners, aren't they? Because there's no trust. I think they don't believe they're there for the right reasons. Of course, you want Hib fans involved. It's just
the manager turn it around?
He's that used to booing. He's booing the podcast now.
Exactly.
Let's stop that.
Can the manager turn it around? That's what you've got to ask. They're sitting bottom of the league. Hibs they've no divine right to be top of the league, but they're sitting bottom of the league. Can they turn it round? Me personally, I don't think they can.
Here he comes! The number one pundit in Scotland.
You're looking a bit James Bondish.
James Bond.
Gone somewhere nice today?
You're looking very smart. Where have you been?
You are. Where are you off to?
I've not been anywhere.
He's up.
I had to wait for the...
Where were you going last week when you followed me all the way to Hamilton?
Him.
He does live at that way.
Where do you live?
Here's your address, Faddy. What's your address if you're watching?
I fucking didn't think you were that. I'm saying this.
He's what some dude's
following him.
I'm going to Pittsburgh.
As I drove,
pricks behind me all the way.
as I drove by him, he's like,
No, it was just when I seen you, I'm going, and then you come up, I'm like, where the fuck
So wait,
I've done my head in all day, I kept going, where's that bastard?
Why did you just text him saying, were you following me?
I know.
I phoned me. Why were you following me?
I think that's a wee bit cheeky.
It's no fucking Top Gear, alright? It's fucking football.
It seemed like it.
I was right up, and I was going to phone you, right? Because I thought, why is that bastard? There's something there that I don't know about. Because I'm thinking he should go left, because you're going the
Mate,
same
you
route
think
as
too
me.
much when you're driving, mate. Get yourself the fucking road now.
A full week and you've not even messaged the phone.
I know.
Why are you
He's
phoning
been a
me?
paranoid wreck all
I've been
week.
doing my head in all week, going, where were these two bastards? Were they going to meet
If
up?
I'd have known it was making you paranoid, I would have said, I'm not telling you.
Defo.
I'll tell
Keep
you
him
that,
guessing, mate.
you fucking slaughtered me for something, and I noticed something in your car.
What was it?
Private Reg.
No, no.
Have you not? Is that not a Private Reg?
You're tuned to the wind, man.
No.
Fucking Reg.
What did you drink it red?
not.
What did you drink it red?
JMF.
No.
You sure?
need to get a pair of glasses.
The end it is JWM, but my middle name's not a W. It's just.
I
just
don't
what they
even
gave
know
me.
you're ready.
No.
You're a weirdo, mate.
You're what's
You're a proper
mate.
weirdo. I'm worried about you. Right,
I
Faddy.
used to have a private reg.
Shut the fuck up about motors. I'm sick of this. Come on, I'm going to Manchester.
Fuck the fuck
Faddy, are you surprised that David Gray's been given a vote of confidence?
No, really, no.
Think it's the right decision?
I
Keep in charge.
think that there's big problems at Hibs, and I think if you keep sacking managers, then the problems won't get any better. I think there's issues at the top of the club and the decisions that they've made. No, just in the last 6 months, the last few years. So, no, I'm not surprised. I quite like it, and hopefully it gets time. I hope it's not one of these empty ones that he's got to fill back, and then
Couple of weeks.
2 games later he's out the door. So hopefully they stick by it.
Are you of the opinion that clubs like Hearts, Hibs, Aberdeen, that you should have experience elsewhere before you get these type of jobs? Is it too big a job for somebody to go straight in it? You look at Barry Robson, Naismith, David Gray now, all doing all right at first, but then struggling.
Ideally, that would be the case, wouldn't it? You let a few other guys that have took the opportunity to work, further down the leagues, build up that experience. But Dad's just touched on it there. Gray's in a situation where, he obviously didn't want to find himself in. And how does he deal with it? I think he's dealing with it pretty well. The way he's interviewing, but also behind the scenes, you wonder, is it Liam Craig's his assistant there as well? Is it
Liam Craig's there, yeah.
Two young guys, starting out. It's a massive job, a lot of pressure coming with it. Who else is upstairs as well? Malky. How did... See, when you've got somebody up there that's been there as a manager and experienced, do you think that would be weighing on their mind? Do you think that would come into their thinking? Like,
depends on the relationship, innit?
I wonder how that is.
You don't want to be weak and go up and chat, Malky, what would you do here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing you're talking about, it's a difficult one because people can make it work. I remember, and obviously it was a lower league, and I went into air and I became a manager, right, straight for a player. And all of a sudden I'm in the manager's office and I'm sitting there, see, after about a month, God, what the fuck is this all about? You get players coming in, you've got different things to handle, you've got press things today, you've got this today, you've to organise training, you're now picking a team. So everybody thinks it's all about Saturday. Listen, people don't right? And what I'd done was, I sat and I thought to myself, right, this is a wee bit, I'm either got to sink or swim here. What's the best thing I can do? And you're talking about, I went and go Ian Monroe, who had been managed, had the reputation, been a great coach, experienced everything. I brought guys like Frank Corner in beside me, right? For two days a week. Right. And I would just sit and I would try and gather as much as their experience and then put my own script on it. Yeah. And it wasn't until a year later that I actually started going, do you know what, I'm developing into how to run a club, right? And that was because I was bouncing things off of people. David, I agree with Faddy. I think that as a club, you can't just keep going sack. You've got to find the root of the problem. But I just think David...
So do you think that's a good appointment then?
What?
Up above him? of a...
I would not. If I'm David Kerr, I would not like that.
By the way, see the two guys we just spoke about. I mean, I worked under Frank.
I trusted Frank Connor in my life. Frank Connor saved my career, right? And that's why I trusted.
So they were guys, they were guys, because I knew Frank was at Hearts with Big Joe Jordan, but Frank was in that dressing room managing us most of the time. He was a clever guy, you know, but he had a great relationship with us, and sometimes that gives you a wee bit of breathing space, innit? The guys like that with that experience.
I think you need to have somebody like Malky, because so many times you see people put into that role that don't know what it takes to manage, or doesn't understand the intricacies of football, whether it's training, all the problems that you face, they don't get it. So if managers can bluff the guys above them and the board, because they don't understand exactly what it takes, or they just either not interested, so you can get away with saying no, we're doing this, and honestly it's coming good, don't worry about it, whereas Malky's been there, so the bullshit's not really there. So you go and hopefully if it's a good relationship you can be honest and say, what about this, and bounce off. Know that he's telling you what to do, but you need their experience. You don't have it. You don't have it. You can get it, but as soon as you go into that job, I've never done it, but I've watched managers doing it and think, you actually, like, it's all right being a coach or assistant, you can offer your opinion, you can say to the manager, that's not acceptable how a player's behaving or whatever, or the training. He needs to deal with it. He needs to make a decision.
They're a great thing, Faddy, innit? People say that managers, you've got to lift the club, you've got to lift the players, you've got to lift the dressing room, you've got to lift that. I always think, who lifts the manager? Because any of the guys that will tell you, see if you get beaten a Saturday, you're in it now, see if you get beaten a Saturday, affects your full fucking life. You get home, your family, you're sitting there. I remember you used to get home and get maybe beat and getting a wee bit stick under pressure. I'd be sitting still with my jacket on about 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, sitting thinking about the game, and I'm thinking, I'm doing up my family life. So who lifts the man?
Steph's 6'3", so she used to just lift me up.
So you've experienced a wee bit of that.
No, when you were at Swindon, she wasn't.
I've had that as well. I've walked out of parties in certain places when a big family does, and I've just, because of what he's saying there, I've just walked out, because my head is all over the shit, by the way, because I've lost a game of football, because you're responsible for all that. As a player, you know,
you sometimes forget about it.
Aye, you do. But when you're responsible for the whole shebang.
Have you ever had a manager that was his first job?
Aye, Jimmy Nicholl.
Terry Butcher.
And how did Terry? Could you see a difference in Terry Butcher when he first started to when you left?
Aye, you too.
No, he was. He was assistant manager, stepped up to be the manager. We had Eric Black as well. I'm pretty sure that was his first managerial role, but he was new into the club. I don't think so. I think that because the relationship was there with most of the players, it was the same. I mean, it, like all managers, it could be very up and down, depending on results sometimes, but sometimes he'd go mental. 5 minutes later he'd cool down and apologise for going mental, because we were all young boys, and he understood that it wasn't easy. But no, I didn't. I mean, he was there. I left his first full season. I left at the end of it, so I don't know what it was like then. You know, the season or whatever after it. So no, I didn't see a great deal of difference. And Eric Black came in after Billy Davis. It was also his first job, so my first 3 managers, it was his first job. He came in after Billy Davis, and then within, I don't know, 6 months, 7 months, the club were going into administration. So he was brought in with really the full picture. Yeah. So he obviously left the club. But I would say that the three of them are brilliant, good managers, good coaches. In their different ways, they were good. Billy Davis had a lot of big names, you know. Gorham, Pat Nevin was his chief executive player. John Spencer, you likes of Sean Teal and Don Goodman, guys like that played at a good level, and he dealt with that side, whilst also bringing through a lot of good young players as well. Eric Black brought some French guys in, but No, I thought they were all good.
Billy Davis says it was weird that there was decks in the chief exec's office. Walking in the wee chief exec's on the decks playing Motherwell songs.
That's funny. See, I try to do that a wee bit. See, you're like the Frank Connor role you're talking about there when Barry was at Clyde.
You done that? That's right.
Big Bob Malcolm. So I was just.
Was that? Sorry to interrupt you. Was that Barry's first job, Clyde?
Was it his first or I think it was his second?
It was Blackpool, wasn't it? Before
second. So, but I was in there because just to be in and just to talk to the players and just to let them know that sometimes your Barry would get a wee bit excited because I don't know if you spoke about it on camera. Like his expectations of the players was up there when these players can't do what he could do, and it was trying to let him understand that, but also
was like that as a teammate as well.
But also let the players know, you're all right. Just he wants you to strive to get to, that level. That's why he's demanding of you. So, but sometimes you could go and just put a wee word in their ear and say, listen, it's all right, just keep working away. So.
How did you deal with him like that?
I was just going to say
just saying to him just that, the exact that. Listen, Barry, they're not at that level. This is why they're here. I says,
and you've got to get them there.
Something that you find, he would demo stuff. So see that you're starting a crossing finishing thing. So somebody drive a ball into him, you just kill it, you ping it 60 yards, right? Bang on the money. And these guys would need maybe another touch. Then they were pinging it and it wasn't maybe quite hitting the target. He was getting frustrated now, so you're trying to calm them all down.
Pick it up and run out.
Just run out and do
it. I tell you who was very good, which would surprise
Bob,
you.
You said
Big Bob Malcolm was very calm.
Would you and Barry argue a lot when you were in that role?
No.
Never.
No, that's no my role's not to argue. He's a manager.
Yeah.
That's his gig. He's in charge.
Would he ask you a lot of advice, Derek?
Just wee bits here and there. And I would try and just put in my. But no, quietly with the boys, just to make sure that they're calmed down.
Jimmy Knight was the worst.
Big Bob's a lot. I always thought Big Bob was a good coach when you were watching him. He was patient, so he was. And if something didn't click, he would go at it again, but he wouldn't lose the rag. He was just very patient. Which
was the ice cream van's music no in the boys?
And that's what he's went into, but he's just what you're saying. Great guy. I thought Bob should have went into coaching. Aye.
And Jimmy Knight, good?
Jimmy Knight was terrible.
Why is it because it was his first job?
Terrible, mate. He walked
in. You Greggy, or not?
Jimmy.
I hope you're well, mate.
I don't know if he's been serious or not.
No, I'm Jimmy. And by the way, I don't blame Jimmy. Jimmy walked in, first job. Jimmy was the best pro I've ever seen, right?
Absolutely.
He would do a warm-up that I couldn't do in the park, playing 90 minutes. He would come in, he would do hundreds of sit-ups and press. Mate, honestly, he was a machine, right? And what a player he was, Jimmy. But Jimmy walked in, young manager for Dunfermline, and he looked at the dressing room and thought, I'm not fucking handling this. So he bombed us all, right? And he brought all these young players over for Ireland and whatever, and it fell in its arse, right? And he was under pressure. But to be fair to him...
Did he have an experienced guy next to him, Des?
The what?
Did he have an experienced guy next to him?
He had a guy called Martin Harvey, came from down south. I don't know where he met Martin, but he was a bit experienced. But what happened was he decided to bring up the guy. He came in, I remember, we went to Montrose in the Cup, right, and he was under pressure. And I always remember this, and we're going to make a joke of this, right? He pulled me into the toilet. He didn't pull me off. He pulled me in, right?
Pulled you in the toilet?
He pulled me in.
And you got any coins for this condom machine?
He says to me, and you can see the size of the toilets in Montrose. I couldn't even get it out. And he says to me, listen, I need to ask you face to face, are you got to play for me? And I went, what are you fucking kidding on? Right? And he brought the experienced boys in. And we went on a 15-game unbeaten run. And then all of a sudden, you could see him just develop into the manager he became. And Jimmy was brilliant. Absolutely.
Again, made mistakes at the start, but learned. So maybe David Gray might go along the same sort of route.
And Jimmy will admit that.
The head of recruitment, is that the best option going forward for Hibs? Is that what they need? Fuck yes.
I don't know.
I'll walk off. I'm just going down to Manchester now.
They need to get the structure.
Right.
The structure behind recruitment's been a massive issue for them. I think you look at even the club, the new, the manager always has and always will take the flak, but the recruitment over the last number of years for Hibs has been really poor. So they need to get somebody in that knows what they're doing. It's all right. You see again that the people that come in with, head of recruitment, I've worked here, I've done this, I've done that. It's who they answer to. Like who's allowing these people in to clubs to go and
would that be Malcolm's decision now?
I would say so. I would say so. They've got the stuff with the Black Knights and Bill Foley, and you look at Bournemouth now, the players that they've brought in, absolutely top drawer. You're not going to get them for Hibs, but it shows you there's people there that know what they're doing. So I think that they need to get the right people in the right positions and sort the club out, because it's been a mess.
Yeah, where have they went wrong with recruitment?
Just signed the wrong players, haven't they?
Scattergun.
Yeah,
it's just been scattergun. It's been
panic. Was it panic? You know, everybody spoke about their defence last year. Oh, I need to shore up their defence. They lose late goals every fucking game. Every time they've got a chance to win a game, you're thinking, Hibs have got to lose something here. They're not strong enough, not solid enough. So I think that if you get, as Faddy said there about Bournemouth and everything like that, you're not going to get that quality. But if you get the right kind in, what it'll do is, and maybe that's just why they're looking at David Gray, saying, if we can get it right for there, this guy's good enough in the dugout and the coaching, because they've obviously looked at that and they'll have a feedback in that. So they believe that given the right tools, he could do the right job.
But is Bournemouth's recruitment so good because the manager's got a clear style of play? So it's easy to go and identify players for certain positions. Like, have Hibs got that right now?
But it's,
that recruitment...
that's hard, because they've not probably got the players. That's the saying.
They've got 15 players out of contract from the end of the season.
Aye.
So they've got to, it's like getting from here to the end of the season. And by the way, because I see the next question, staying in that league, that's what they need to do until they can clear up this mess, because you've got a lot of guys and a lot of money, you know, that probably don't want to, well, obviously, didn't want to shift, are quite happy to take that. Well, so they've got a big problem there. So
that's their chances of going down there at the fact that there is 15 players out of contract or something.
Because they know they're just going to fuck off. That doesn't create any harmony within the club. I don't know how David's dealing with that situation, and that's another one. That's a difficult one for him, having that number of players out of contract who are clearly just seeing that contract out, are just going through the motions. So it's hard enough, the job in itself, Hibs, but then he's got that to deal with. So the recruitment's massive, and this is why they need to get it right, get into next season. But within that, they've got to stay in that league. They're it's like a Hearts, you know, I can't believe they're doing that. They're too big a club to be, you know, getting down to that championship.
They've been done before. The time they've been done before, everybody says Hibs can't go down. They won't go down. They can't go down.
The replay.
You can go down.
Yeah.
They are at this moment in time with the results and performances to an extent. Of course, they're in danger, because they're not looking likely to see out a result, see out a victory. So if they are, but I think that it doesn't mean they will. But of course they can. They can.
So they'll need to bring one or two in the January. But and that's hopefully, well, they're going to leave that up to David to make that decision. So he's having a good look at it now. So come January, he needs to bring that one or two that is going to keep them up.
And where is it? They need what you saying, centre backs and.
I would tighten up first and foremost.
Don't lose goals. Don't lose. And then you're talking about it's late goals as well. Yeah. So that's an issue. That's a problem they've got to resolve.
Midfield as well.
So then I know you're get all these players.
So I'm a wee bit like
goalie.
The goalie is another one.
They need a goalie. They need.
He shouldn't own gloves. I'd take his fucking gloves right off him.
He shouldn't own gloves. What a show that is. Right, we're on to Scotland, lads. Take on Croatia at Hampden, Poland away. How much do we need to change performances into results?
Take it away, Fad. He's the correspondent.
That's just a case of that.
Of course we do. Performances have been good. Get a good result against Portugal. The games against Poland and Croatia, the home game and obviously the away game, we should have got something at the game. Both games. So whether it's, you know, a mistake in the Poland game, it was 3 mistakes. Look, I know that you can say that about every game. You don't make mistakes, but the mistakes you don't expect players at that level to make. Then I think it's looking good. I think that performance has been good. Get a couple of decent results and try and, you know, finish this campaign, this Nations League group in a positive, get into the qualifying.
It has been a tough group, innit?
Definitely. Of course it has. But it's been a good level of performance, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just fine lines, you know, but that's what they need. They need just to kind of just get a win for somewhere.
It's been tough,
the next couple of games.
Looking again at Poland and Croatia, you would say that they're teams at a level that Scotland want to be at, but having played both of them, you would say I think we are at that level, but you need to be a bit better and no make the silly mistakes. Don't give them encouragement. It's always the same. When you step up a level, your mistakes are punished more because you're playing against a higher level opposition. But I think that we've shown in these games that we're as good as these.
Is it just a case of being better in both boxes then?
Aye.
In general play, there's not much in it.
Fine line, decision making, innit? You know, whether it's defending or whether it's in front of goals, whether in front of goals just that wee bit of calmness, whether it's that don't be so stupid and, you know, dive into a tackle. Just wee things. Yeah. Because
sorry, mate, on you.
I know, because that's what we're talking about. Because if you look at as a whole, the performance level of the players and where the players are playing now, they're all playing at a good level, high level, and they're all playing well. So you'll go into these 2 games with confidence, of course, but just get a win because you can't keep going on. I mean, we spoke about it last time.
But do you feel for Steve Clarke, like, see when you're a national manager, he's now got 3 strikers that are really scoring goals. Like, that's tough for a manager.
You've stepped up the levels, haven't you? From your own success.
Yeah.
And the minute you got that, it's like...
That was a pube in your throat there,
I know it was, I was like... For me, it's like winning the championship with Steve Clarke and then going up into the Premier League and you're going up against higher, better players, better teams, everything.
Cheers, mate.
And then you're
got Mr. Ferguson.
Thank you.
I think they'll learn from it. I think they're obviously getting better and better. We had a lot of players out last time against Portugal, but... I don't believe we can finish. There's an opportunity to finish second, right? I don't think that.
I genuinely think we can win the 2 games. Genuinely.
And where would that leave us?
Aye.
But then you've got to depend on Portugal, haven't you?
Well, it's not as if you're asking
do you think,
Holland to beat the...
Right now, do you think we could finish second?
I think we could win the 2 games. If that means we can finish second, then...
I
think we've done enough.
Positivity
Holland, we should
way.
definitely have beaten them at home. Definitely. It's not just being... the big fan that I'm,
Willie
or a fanny. No, it's not. I just think, looking at the game, we should have won that game. The Croatia game, I expected it to be similar to Portugal away. It wasn't. I think we'd chances in the game where we could go and get a win. So I think genuinely, I think we can win.
The only thing I think as well, that the opposition that we're coming up against now,
Lewandowski's out as well.
Aye, but they know Scott, so I think they'll raise their game as well. Because they know Scotland are no mugs. Of course they're not, and they'll recognise that. So their level of performance will go up. So that's why it's going to be... I don't share the same enthusiasm.
No, we could lose the 2 games, we could, but I think we're going to win them.
We're in with a chance, aye. I don't see us winning the 2 games.
Are we doing that for the bet builder?
You better go and get your killer.
Do you expect to see a continuation of the line-up and tactical approaches next 2 games?
Aye.
Back four,
aye. It's. I think it's gave us a good foundation to go and be more attacking, to be more aggressive and pressing, to get more control in the games. Portugal aside, obviously it's difficult, but we still had really good chances against Portugal.
Here's
as well.
one, McGinn and McLean out, because I thought McLean
was good.
I don't know.
I thought
you would say that is a stick on, but it's no. You're no bringing, if you're putting McGinn in a forward position, fine. But I just think Kenny seems to be more solid in that sitting role.
He was a different
club. Yeah, a real goal threat, isn't he, with McGinn and McTominay? No, that's
scored again, didn't he?
You know, doing really well, and that coming for a deeper area into the box. You know, I didn't see his goal. I don't know what was his goal.
Was it a tap?
Was it a tap? Well, he gets himself in good positions as well.
Driving at the right time.
Was it? So when they've got a goal threat as well now. I know we always look at the striker, but if you look at McGinn and McTominay coming late into the box,
he's a shout freedom. Come on, shout freedom.
Go on, that's his.
Destination, mate.
No gimmick here.
On the performing monkey. On the squad, Stuart Armstrong's came in. He's surprised that wasn't Lennon Miller. Stuart hasn't had his time, but he's playing over in America now. Was it a perfect chance to bring Lennon Miller in?
I would have liked to have seen it to be Lennon Miller, right? But I can see where Steve Clarke's going with this.
Why?
He's just keeping the boy there and now.
But why?
Good question.
Honestly,
maybe he doesn't think he's ready.
Aye.
Do you think he's ready?
And he looks at the Midley Park as well just now.
I think, right, and I'll be really honest, I think I kind of get both arguments. I watched them on Saturday. And he done well.
Anyway, Saturday, the two boys up front I was pissing myself at the radio.
What was he saying?
Mas one he say and Stamatopoulos.
Did you have to say that?
Stamatopoulos. Tawanda Mas one he say. Fucking hell, man! Before he asked like a whole sentence.
I'd be sweating with that. I couldn't do it.
But see when it happens quick, you know, and you're like, oh no.
It wasn't during the game, it was when you were reading the teams. I'm like, oh, Derek's made sure he's practiced these.
But listen, I would have liked to, right, personally, I'd have liked to have seen him in the squad. But just one of the wee things, I don't know if he watches this, just...
He watches it.
Aye, do you think so? Just, he shouldn't get too disappointed in himself. And what I mean by that, don't show the emotion on the part. He tried to play a couple of killer balls, quite rightly so. Just maybe the weight of pass wasn't there. But he's like a couple of times and don't show that emotion. At least you've tried that. And one or two passes that went astray, but they went astray because he's trying to play that killer ball, which you should have, but don't get too disappointed. Don't show the opposition that you're disappointed.
Good
Keep that calmness, because that's the one thing about Lennon Miller. Ever since I've watched him in the last couple of years, there's a calmness about him. So I don't want that to creep into his game, showing a bit of emotion. You've tried it, hey.
I think he's feeling it because he's got the armband.
I don't, do you know, that did come into my, because it's that responsibility. It could be playing a wee part in it. So it's no on you. Lennon, you're still only 18, you're playing out of your skin. I think you should be in that Scotland squad, but don't show the opposition.
Or could it be a frustration that he's playing with Andy Halliday in there?
Andy's playing well.
Andy's done
He's
well.
doing all right, isn't he?
Oh, he's playing all right, Andy.
See the couple of boys, he showed a wee bit that it's like, it's fine lines again we come down to. Like, he's only like a kind of a yard or two with that being that killer ball that the player's in.
I love his wee touch for the first goal.
Forwards.
His wee touch for the first goal.
Aye, he's a good player, but don't get disappointed within your poor performance during the game.
Good advice.
Keep that high, keep that.
I think it's one where if he goes in to get, obviously you go in and you want to go and play, of course you do, but even just to get Steve Clark to have a look at him.
Yeah, just to see if he's ready.
Do you know, I think for the rest of the boys as well, I would like that if I was in a squad like that. A new young buck coming in
definitely.
There.
Freshen the place up.
Well, it gets you up, I know, because you know he's a threat. You know he's a threat to you, so you raise your standards as well.
His Armstrong isn't for the future.
That's what I'm saying.
Listen, but Steve Clark, he's an experienced guy. He must have his... Faddy's right. He must have a reason, because I think all of us are looking, thinking, what an opportunity. Take the boy in, even if he's... Because we all done it as young kids. And Rangers and Motherwell and everything. You went with the first team. You knew you weren't going to play, but it was a full experience of the training, the set-up, listening to the manager, watching what's happening, how it's different for you. So
Stuart Armstrong doesn't want to come back to fucking Glasgow pissing down. He's want to surf in America, mate, isn't he? Stuart.
Too right, he will.
Think he's wanting their caps.
If he called me up, I'd go.
I'd be at Steve.
Would you?
I'm in America now, mate. There's no way I'm fucking coming back.
I'm with Si.
Do you know what?
I'm on the beach.
Just 2 minutes to my house,
I'm on the beach, mate.
Get all his life after he's finished to go on the beach.
What one now, lads? I seen your wee bit about Lennon Miller. So your boy used to play against her?
Played against him and with
Fun
him.
Fours?
Aye.
And
it was a joke.
Stupid. Was he a joke? Even at Fun Fours?
Fun Fours.
At what, like?
Everything.
Just come by and just ran
just
the
like, he had this... I always mind watching him because he was much taller than everybody. And I didn't know who he was. And
did you know Lee at the time?
I knew. I've known Lee for a long time. But I hadn't seen him. I hadn't seen Lee, but I was watching my boy playing against him. And it was just like, you know the way he does things that are effortless? So he's a bit like that, like messing about a wee bit. And then he'd just like go in and out, drop shoulder, and actually ping it. At like Fun Four, so he's about 5 or 6 year old. And I'm going, this wee guy must be about 3 or 4 year older than him. Just kept watching him. Just thought his touch, everything was brilliant. And I was speaking to Lee, I was like, oh, what one's your boy? He's like, him there. I was like, what age is he? He's like, he's whatever age he was. You're kidding me on. Honestly, it was
that's mad, isn't it? You can see that at that age.
A joke. And then James went to Motherwell and played in his team, and he was just frightening.
Faddy, you were capped a number of times while you were a teenager. Was there any hesitation? Were you ever, was there like immediate outcry for you to be in the squad and you never got picked when you maybe felt, I should be in that now?
Maybe. I think it was different for me because better votes had come in. All the players, most of the players for the Craig Brown era, certainly the older ones that were used to getting to tournaments, had retired. So there had to be a change. And I'd get into the Motherwell first team, and I hadn't really thought about it. I was 18, and I was like, I just can't believe I'm playing the first team here. And then you'd get towards the end of the season, and a few other young ones were getting in the first team, and then a lot of players that played in the league were getting called up. That you wouldn't maybe necessarily say were stick-ons to get called up, so he was going to try new players.
Right.
So for that point, I wasn't in his first couple of squads. For that point, I was like, I'm better than him. I'll get in.
Love it.
I'll get a shot.
Fucking Scott Dobie getting called up ahead of you, man.
I played in a trial. We had a trial.
But you had to trial for
There was
Scotland?
a Scotland trials, aye.
Fuck off.
Aye.
Come for a big team.
Aye, they called it was like
Weird, isn't it?
This is an exclusive on
That's
Go.
weird. That's weird to me.
no, they had like
That was
what they call it, a future squad or something.
Right.
So it was like
that was like
loads of
15s,
people that were
wasn't it?
eligible. Guys for down south that you didn't.
Was there
you'd
some,
never
no,
heard of.
didn't be disrespectful. Didn't name names, was there some dog shit players, huh?
Aye.
Name names.
It was basically who's eligible, bring them up, let's have a look, training. There was some dog shit, but there was some brilliant players there as well. And then with like a wee future squad, trial, training, games.
Did you?
And then
And you done well in that?
I think so. I can't remember. I just remember
you
getting
know,
up and
so.
you don't know who half of the boys are, and you're all trying to get a game for Scotland.
Scotland
Old
trials when
child,
you
one
were
team in
young.
that dressing room, one team in that dressing room.
Scotland trials when it was under 15s, the schoolboys.
That was nerve-wracking, wasn't it? Heart was fucking pounding for the trials, mate.
See, I never had any of them.
Oh, did you know that? You just straight in
I
the
just
squad?
had it for the first team.
That's strange, isn't it?
Aye.
Has that ever happened since?
No,
That
surely
can't be
no.
the way it happens now, is it?
No,
It's a fuck. No. What about Lewis's first call-up? You remember that? What was his first squad?
I can't remember it.
So you're a very doting dad.
Aye, I can't remember it, but no, it's interesting what you're saying him because let's see what's wrote down there. When Lewis went there to these squads, one, he went to enjoy it. One, he knew that that group of boys was a good group of boys, but he wasn't going to play second fiddle. That wasn't in his mindset, although he was doing the pecking order. That was clear to see, you could see that. But I'm not speaking in Lewis's behalf, but what he would have within him, he'd believe I should be in that starting 11. I'm good enough. I'm better than what's there. He'll have that belief in him, but what he was prepared to do is go and wait to see if he got that opportunity. But if he wasn't, he'd show the right attitude. But he did genuinely enjoy that, his trips.
We're going to do a trial. I think Steve Clark's going to do a trial match, Lennon Miller v Lewis Ferguson, to see who gets it. It's just a 1v1 on an 11-a-side pitch.
By the way,
See when you went in trial, so mate, see when you seen your team and you're like, how the fuck's he in my team, man?
You knew when you failed, didn't you?
You
were
just
in
knew.
with the shite.
Mate. See if you passed the ball wrong a couple of times, you're like, there's no way I'm fucking in
John
trials.
Larry done 2v2 in a full size 11 up at Firhill on a Sunday. You have to get beat. 2v2.
2 and 11-a-side.
2v2, that was John.
What was the score?
Stood there with a big cigar and all that. Score just a game of running, wasn't it? Disguised. Who does that? 2v2.
Have you ever had to go on trial anywhere? I went on trial at Yeovil, mate. Yeovil, fucking brutal, man.
Whereabouts?
Remember Yeovil got in the championship?
Yeah.
Gary
He's just
Johnson.
like, Gary Johnson, mate, he wants to see you for a week. I was like, where's your mate? It was about a 16-year train
it's
journey.
far away,
mate.
mate.
And then my first day there, he put a video on the Brazil 1998 team, and it was Roberto Carlos running down the left wing, and he's like, listen lads, this is how I want my fucking team to play in the championship. He goes, look at Carlos Alberto at left back. It was Roberto Carlos, mate.
I thought
I was like, get me up.
Send me to manager. See for a minute.
You thought about doing the impression there, didn't you? Then you just went, fuck it, I'm going for it.
Where did you go on trial?
I've been in a few trials. I went on trial to St Johnstone.
Did you?
Aye.
Wait,
because
cheeky bastards, man.
when I was 30, 31.
on trial?
I've been injured. Man,
but sure.
Aye.
No,
Aye.
you're not on trial, you're just there to prove your fitness.
That's a trial.
Trial,
They can say
Is that a trial?
It's a trial.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting mixed
Well,
up.
you can fail it, so it's a trial.
Right, I'm just
he's
thinking
failed
your
it, he's not
fitness
fit.
is-
Aye, obviously, they didn't want to see if I was what level I was
Call that a
playing at. They
trial?
wanted to see how fit I was.
I would say
Do
that.
you
I went
call
to
that a
Philadelphia as well.
See, even at your
Trial.
age, Faddy, in the career that you'd had, were you still nervous going into a trial?
No.
No.
Fuck's sake, he's 31, he's cake with money.
was-
Would you be?
I think I'd still be nervous just
wasn't-
being on trial.
I wasn't nervous about my ability. I was nervous or worried that you don't get injured. Because
Yeah,
it's the thing that I had. I was always injured anyway, but as soon as I had my knee injury, I had nothing but problems and pain. So I just used to get up in the morning and think, oh, don't be sore today. Allow me to run about. If I can run about, I'm fine. I don't worry about anything like that.
What about trial?
Well, I must have been in trial. I've been a couple of them. But I must have been in trial then when I was 29. Because I went to Dunfermline, because I was good with my knee at Falkirk, 28. I mean, I was out the game for about a year and a half.
I
know. And just for you were...
was he good for you, Daz?
Brilliant.
Was he?
I wasn't fit. It wasn't the fact that he wasn't fit. It was everything about it for him. See the dressing room, the experience. It was Frank Connor, actually. You're talking about Frank Connor.
Frank Connor's had far too much airtime on this.
We were talking, we needed some, we didn't have a lot of money and everything, but we needed a bit of experience, somebody that was a wee bit of leader. And Frank had says to me, look, I've worked under Derek at Hearts and blah, blah, blah. And I phoned him up. And I remember he even drove the minibus. Remember the minibus?
I used to drive. I loved that Fourth Road Bridge. You don't want to know what when that minibus.
I'm not interested in that fucking minibus. I was in the Merc. But as much as we knew that he wasn't at the peak in the fitness and all that, see what he gave his dressing room, even on the park, just moving people.
Driving a minibus.
Driving a minibus. You couldn't ask for that experience.
See the poles you had.
The minibuses were the best.
See the poles at the football. See me going to the Fourth Road Bridge. That was the poles were out the window. You know that. So
what, like the corner?
I were charging across the bridge, heading to training and all that. We loved all that.
We used to get a security guard.
See that time, but I'd let him down because, man, I remember that training session on the park. No, but he done me a turn. So he did. I shouldn't probably say that, but done me a turn. But see, I was in back now because when your knee does go, and then I knew that was it. I'm not coming back to that. So that was my last club.
Mate, we had a security guard that used to drive us for Celtic Park up to Steps playing fields. Right. See the majority of the journey, mate, somebody would take their hands over his eyes like that. So he'd be sitting in the front seat, you'd be fucking
we had some great journeys.
Amazing, mate, the old minibus, man, brilliant. Right, controversy in the Premier League. What about David Cook?
Do you see what's probably going to happen to him?
What?
They're now talking about if he gets bumped, Saudi Arabia, $3,000 a game.
Is he?
Mate, I would be...
you'd be calling Klopp all sorts on video. Video that for us.
I read it this morning and I'm thinking... Ken hell, he's getting an offer for Saudi if he gets bumped for $3,000 a week. $3,000 a game.
Do you know what pet peeve of mine? See his mate has filmed that and put that out. What an
what is it? When was it? Were they drinking? What were they up to with the own?
It was in COVID supposedly, but the videos just came out now.
It was in COVID?
During COVID,
Right, I don't know. I've seen it, but look, if you can prove that he was unable to do his job because he didn't like somebody, then he needs to be sacked. You don't need to like everybody, do you?
No. Supposing there's a video of Mike Dean going about naked. Mate, there's a pet peeve. Stop getting refs. See Soccer Saturday, Mike Dean's getting an opinion on football.
It's not funny.
He's chirping in when they're talking about fucking tactics or something. Mike, give him a whistle and fucking just blow it when there's a foul.
That Dermot Gallagher.
Him as well, mate.
That's my...
Who's watching that? Dermot Gallagher ref watch for fucking 4 hours.
By the way, he comes out with the...
How do you know how long it is? You obviously watch it.
I keep Sky Sports, it just plays on a loop in my house, and every time I look, it's him on the telly.
It's frightening. It's absolutely frightening. He's fucking ugly as well. I can't be arsed with him.
Do you argue with the telly?
I couldn't give a shit.
Did you ever hear a ref that you thought, didn't need to name names here, but did you ever have a ref that you thought he doesn't like me?
I can't remember
every one of them.
He's an after dinner speaker.
Are you?
I was a lawyer. Remember, I spoke about him. I can't.
Every reason not to like me.
Because you were a money bastard.
I was a bit. Tell you before, Willie Young caught me a wanker on the pitch.
They were a good old.
You've never told me that before?
I'll tell you. We were playing Rangers at Ibrox and we had a free kick and Derek had, and whatever happened, I think I got fouled and I was still arguing with him. With Willie Young. Derek Adams was like, can we take it quick? He says, you can take it as soon as this wanker fucking shuts up.
I'm like, you can't call you out, you stupid, shut up. You have any? That's brilliant.
I never really get involved with referees. I was more I liked a lot of referees. I thought in our day they were more, they could get out, like you say, call your man kid. Like, see, guys,
the older ones were fine.
Go fuck off.
Andrew Dallas definitely had it in for me when he sent me off.
Andrew, so is that Hughes' boy?
Aye.
That's my mate.
He's fit, and he got his mother well, the Dallas.
Aye, he's my
definitely.
mate. He's
Sent
good.
me
Lad.
Why do you drink that?
I don't know. Squared up to me in the pitch.
Did he?
Aye. Squared up to me.
Mate, he's a Motherwell supporter.
I don't give a fuck.
But he's on when I love it.
He's a Motherwell supporter.
I don't care.
Aye.
Fuck's sake.
That's the game. That's it.
Definitely
I think he was
that
right.
game. He was probably right, but that game it felt like.
That's because
He
your
wants
dad
to-
chucked the coin up. His dad said, Parker.
Don't start
Didn't get it.
Don't start that shit. No, definitely. Aye, that game definitely had it in for me.
What
Don't know why.
were you like with refs, alright?
Aye, I was fine. Apart from that one, I can't remember his name. But he just used to
What was the initials?
cross my. He does it after dinner speaking. I think he was a lawyer. A tall guy, fair hair. You might.
Well, I thought you were kidding on. You were just keeping his name.
And what do you mean you think you had it
Every
in for you?
time I went to play a pass, I saw he'd run across.
Oh, I remember you saying that. He'd run across you.
Every time. I remember it especially doing it at Queen of the South. I actually said to him, I said, what the fuck you doing? I says, are you playing for him? It's like that, and I don't know if it was just, I don't know what he was up to, but every time I went to play, not even a switch of play, I know it's gone, and then he would just fucking run across. And,
That's brilliant.
you need to stop and then reset and then go. But that time, it's like a split second. What's his name? He does it after dinner. Big tall guy, kind of fair hair. But done my nothing.
Mate, the worst thing happened to me the other day walking along, what's the one, Cruisers on Ingram Street?
Aye.
Yeah.
So I'm walking along and there's like 20 workers working on the building across the road and I can kind of hear open goal tie. So you're trying to cool it out, mate, fucking tripped into a bang. And they shout straight away, penalty Rangers! Oh, mate, see that, mate? I was getting fucking slaughtered, man. My face must have been beat.
How red did that nose go?
Mate, beat through it, man. Like Alan Brazil, my face is like Alan Brazil after it. Terrible. Right, Gary Lineker's.
Slow down.
I know, I'm in a rush. Do you know what it is, mate? I thought a beer, mate. I thought a beer.
What time's
Thought you had beers. That's all.
Can't wait for a beer, mate. I'm leaving at 12:30, mate. What time is it?
11:10.
Can't have a beer no more. You'll be
We've got
pissing
dinner
all the
booked,
way
that's
down.
why I need to get.
You'll be pissing all the way down. Get a gin and tonic.
I'll just tell her to pull in. I'll get a piss.
Aye.
Just 2 minutes, mate. Gary Lineker.
Get a beer at the service station anyway.
Can you?
Aye. Problem.
Cannot wait, mate. What would you
Who you got
suggest? Mate, some guy, American guy she likes, I don't know.
Alright.
I'll just stand
You
at the
just
bar
want
and
a
she'll
drink,
just
don't
stand
you?
and look at him. I just want a drink. Gary Lineker, he's away for match of the day. Are you surprised to hear that?
I really don't give a fuck.
No, no bother.
Would you? I really.
I'm going
I don't know
to
if you put this on
I'm
here,
going
mate.
to
I don't really watch
Slow
Match
news
of the
week,
Day
innit?
now. Do you watch Match of the Day?
Aye.
Aye.
Do you?
I watch it every
I need
Saturday.
to watch it.
And else Sunday morning, do you know watch it Sunday morning?
If I turn on Match of the Day on a Sunday lying in my bed, I'm fucking having a bad Sunday.
Sunday morning.
Genius, man.
Different
I love it.
people.
I do love it.
Aye, it's on in the morning.
He's trying to be too funny. He should just stick to being serious, Gary Lineker.
Who'll take it?
Aye, who will take her?
But they're talking about Mark Chapman, who you
Chapman,
think's brilliant, don't you?
Oh, they talking about him, are they?
Aye.
I think Boyd should take her.
Boy, could he present?
Okay.
No.
What do you
know?
No.
Yeah, you probably could, but
Man, you must watch
I
Match
think
of the
it'll be a
I
lady.
don't.
I think it'll
Day. They're
be...
talking about Alex
Kelly
Scott,
Cates.
who was a hero with us, didn't they?
Aye.
Kelly Cates or Gabby Logan.
I
Kelly
think,
Cates is
I think
brilliant,
it'll
isn't
be
she?
a
Gabby
young
Logan.
lady.
I like that.
Gabby Logan's good as well, yeah.
I think Mark Chapman's the obvious one.
He does Match
For
of the
me.
Day too, doesn't he?
Aye, he's very good as well.
Maybe one of the referees.
Kelly and Gabby are brilliant as well.
Yeah.
Aye.
Do you know what Danny Murphy spoke about his first time being on Match of the Day? He says he was totally fine, and then the producers he went, opening day of the season, lads, fucking 12 million people watching or something. He says, you shit yourself.
Aye.
Have you done it?
No,
the
I
Saturday night
have.
show?
I know the Saturday. I've done it in the Sunday match of the day too. But when I went down to do my first live game for 5 Live, it was Man United at Old Trafford. So get down early, do a wee bit before for the social media stuff. So then, just before we're about to go on air, it's Ian Dennis I was doing it with. So it cuts to the world feed.
Right.
So he's like, right, what we'll do is we go on, and once we start, it will then jump onto the world feed where there'll be 50 million people listening. I was like, fucking hell.
I bet you...
Honestly.
Did you shit yourself?
Aye, I was like,
Did you
I
actually
hadn't
think
thought, I never think about
Aye,
who I'm
yes.
talking to. Never. And in that moment, I went, don't fuck it up.
I know some of them.
15 million,
I might
man.
have said 15, but I'm sure they said 50 million
Because
worldwide.
that's interesting, because you wouldn't even, it's even we sat here, this goes out to a few people, but you don't even really think what you're saying, you just enjoy.
That's the
Company,
genius.
isn't
It's just when you get told the number, and it's live as well, so you're like, don't make an accent.
Are we alright? Did you do alright?
I don't know.
See, what have you about
We
you?
asked back.
What about you on radio? Like your first time? Do you remember your first in radio and you was nervous doing that?
Mate, as without a word of lie, my first time I got asked to do a game at Easter Road, Hibs. I think they're playing St Mirren, Connie McLaughlin, right? I'd never been on Radio Clyde. Gets to the game and I takes a sweetie. Connie's got the sweeties out, so I takes a sweetie, right? So Jim Delahunt comes live there to me and Connie. I choked my sweetie in it. Right? I'm talking about proper choking. I've got behind me doing that. Right, I'm now live on air. And all you can hear it. And Connie says, hey Jim, we can't really hear you. I think you'll need to come back to us in the next 5 minutes. Mate,
Saved you.
I was the most embarrassed I've ever seen in my life. And I thought to myself, I'm fucking no going back.
How many years have you been doing it now?
15 or something.
And do you never get nervous now? Like,
I get nervous every programme.
Do you?
Every programme.
How come?
I don't know, but it was like football. I was sick before every game. That's why I fucking now hate it. But
Fans were sick after it watching you.
oh, during it. But I've always been a nervous person.
Oh, you'd never
See
think
me
that.
even, I know, see when I go...
Apart from you put me up for driving home.
That's right, I had nervous right
Where are
there.
you going?
Mate, honestly, see even when I was younger, I could never walk out a pub and start chanting a bird up. I didn't have the confidence.
Really?
No, I was just, the heat at the end of the night, you know what I mean? Hope she
Right,
would
she
follow
got
me,
it,
like me following Faddy.
Do you get nervous before?
Aye, you've got to, because it's performing, innit?
That's it, mate,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Didn't go into more detail, we'll keep it all
Exactly.
What about you, radio? Were you remember the first time you done it, were you nervous?
Aye, it was doing it at Morton. It was Kenny McIntyre had set it up. He just says, will you do again? And I says, aye, I thought I was, well, I didn't know what I was doing. And then I got down there and I didn't know. You had to do a report, half-time, full-time. I had hee-haw with me. I didn't even have a pen, a bit of paper, nothing. And so I was just winging it, by the way, right at the start. But then, the next week when I was asked back, thankfully, I was prepared.
Is that what you did? You sit and just take your notes?
Oh, you need to, because you need to do a report half-time, full-time. And then within the game, you're all either coming to you back and forward. You've got to be ready, you've got to be bang on the money.
This is when they go, right, keep it down to 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, aye. Sometimes, because sometimes at half-time, some of the guys will go in for like 2-3 minutes. And then the producer will just come to you and say, just what Faddy says, cut that down to 30-40 seconds. So when you've maybe got that, and you know it's not going to happen, so you've just got to sometimes think on your feet. But
have you ever made an arse it? You ever said anything?
Oh, God, aye.
What's your biggest one, do you remember?
I think that's the beauty.
The beauty,
Aye, because sometimes you get pulled up about your pronunciation. I mean, you're talking about the players' names and all that. Aye, so you constantly get criticised, but that's part of. But if you let that affect you, you wouldn't do it. So
I never write a note down.
Got to just go and enjoy it.
Never take notes. Never, ever. No. Even when I go to a dinner, see if I'm speaking and doing a wee, I never take a note with me. Because see the minute I take notes and I keep looking at them, like you practicing a name, that name becomes the hardest name in the world to pronounce. Whereas I like to just go bang off the cuff.
Aye.
I never take.
We need the notes because you've got to call it the time of the hangme. When
the time of the goals and all that.
So it's just it's got to be in an order. So you've got to have the notes. You've got to have that.
I don't take notes.
So
I write stuff down before I do the game.
Right.
But I would never, when I was talking, try and read it whilst I was talking because I just.
You need an
what makes it different for what a lot of people think. You're sitting there. You're enjoying it. You're engrossed in the game. But you've still got to have the reporting aspect to it as well.
I missed 2 subs.
Did you, Ben?
Doing the opening mics at Hamilton. But it was during COVID, so normally they come out of the tunnel and they're standing down there at half time and they put the boards up. But they just come on the park. So the game kicks off and Richard's like, James, how you getting on at Hamilton? I was like, good, kicked off here. He went, have you missed a sub? I went, no, I've missed 2.
I missed a sending off.
Did you?
At Firhill. And you know, they come out, it's not a tunnel at Firhill, away on the corner. There was a bit of a stramash. And I didn't know, whoever got sent off had just fucking headed down. And then it was, Richard came to me. He says, you not got anything to tell us, Derek? I says, no, the game's going great, da. He says, they're not going to send it off. And I'm going, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I went, yep, aye.
So the subs one, you're like,
didn't he see it?
Yeah, that is very tough.
So just it can happen like that.
It's that famous Chris Kamara one, isn't it, with Jeff Stelling? Sending off, he misses, isn't it? Amazing, good stories.
I've pulled the plug in myself.
And the whole.
We're still talking about football.
I used to go to the game. I hated the games because I couldn't do the team sheet right. Because there was names on it sometimes. And I'm like you. I used to panic like hell, right? And the worse you panic, the worse it gets. So anyway, I went out to Wraith and Livingston in a cup game, and it was the worst game I've ever sat. And I'm freezing, right? And I'm thinking, somebody just score. I don't care who it is. Somebody score. This can't go to extra time. So it comes over there, pissing herself laughing, right? Games went to extra time, 0-0, half done thing, blah, blah, blah. 10 minutes into the second half, I just fucking pulled the plug, right? Fucked off. Phoned the producer and went, by the way, the kit's fucked. I just went, the song went tits up. I couldn't hear anything, all that carry on, so I just had to leave, tell the boys.
In the Merc?
I was away in the Merc.
Okay.
Away. But I couldn't sit, and then I got locked in at Dumbarton, and Jim Duffy, the manager at Dumbarton, had to come back and rescue me. I was sitting in Dumbarton doing the phone in. 20 to 6. Now remember, the game finishes at 8:15. This is how shite Dumbarton were, right? Next minute, the fucking lights went out. And I'm sitting there, and it's pitch black.
Everything gets shot.
So I'm shouting down, aye.
You can't even go to the toilet. They shot everything. You're sitting there, bus for the toilet, in pitch black. People wouldn't believe you.
Because you need to sit and do that after the match report.
And then I was pulling in the door.
You never think about that.
Pulling in the door.
I get that.
The door, nobody was there.
Everybody's away.
Just walked down the side of the wee stand.
You're just going to sit in your
Everything
room.
was locked.
There's a wee groundsman. No, there's
the security boys had fucked off.
I totally get it. Aye.
And I'm phoning and I'm going, listen, and the boys are going, aye, you're making up. I says, honestly, on my life, I'm no making up. So I phoned Duff, who's the manager,
to get you.
Go, Duff, where the fuck are you? I'm locked in. No staying here on Monday.
You're going to be checking doors to get out the stadium. Because sometimes you're just sitting there, you're lonesome, away up in the corner, and everybody's away up the road.
Just lastly, have you got a favourite ground that you like to do? What's your favourite ground in Scotland? Take Celtic Rangers with it. What's your favourite
ground?
Fir Park for me.
Fir Park?
Aye.
Just round the corner.
Fuck.
By the way, mate, Motherwell, I went for a coffee with Motherwell's new chairman.
Oh, 33-year-old?
Mate, what a guy, man.
I hear it.
Honestly, I sat with him yesterday. I had lunch with him. He texted us at the boys and came and meet for lunch and get a chat, mate. What a hero, man.
Where did you go? Where did he take you for lunch?
33, he's the chief chairman of Motherwell. He took it to Santa's in the town.
Oh, nice.
So big shout out to him, lovely guy.
Yeah, nice.
Was he wanting?
Did he pick up the tab?
He's wanting here. This will be your last Thursday that he's going to start coming on. He got the tab, mate. Got the tab. Favourite ground today?
I like some of the championship grounds, even the league.
Park, mate.
Do you want to know? Because you get a right good welcome.
Well. Aye.
They get a right good all the time. Sometimes the bigger the club, maybe not so good as a welcome should be.
Wow, right. Would you have the balls to name names?
I know the club he's talking about.
No, Fir Park's alright. I like Fir Park, actually. I know the guy. The only thing wrong with Fir Park is it's a wee bit...
That's what you're watching.
Sitting there with the knees. It's no good for the knees, aye. So you like when you can stretch out your legs.
The seats are a bit of a killer at Fir Park now, you say it.
No, the ones you sit on. They're the paddy ones you sit on.
Because I was in the stand, mate. Not even on the bench,
okay.
St Mirren's, aye.
I will say, we done Kilmarnock, we done Derek McInnes interview manager of the month.
Kelly, brilliant.
Full lunch, mate.
Aye.
Food, drink.
I go down and wherever we go in and get the makeup, the wee woman behind the bar knows I love a Empire biscuit.
There you go.
You get Sean?
There, your wee biscuit, you want a coffee? Brilliant, yeah. You get a Kelly pie at half time.
Are they as nice as what people say?
More often than not.
Finish second in the league.
lower down. I bet you we were to go to East Kilbride, we'll get well looked after.
Anytime
you know who won the best pie in the Premier League, don't you?
No.
Who did, sorry?
So you'd think it was a Kelly pie.
What is it?
I'll give you a guess, right? Best
Dundee.
pie in the league.
Kelly. It's not Kelly, you just tell me to finish second.
The Premier League, you dong.
Oh, that was near.
Done St Johnstone.
Aberdeen.
Dundee, I said.
Ross County.
Is it?
Ross County.
Pies up in Ross County.
Best pie in the league.
There's another club I need to mention as well. Went in with
they're
Falkirk.
amazing.
They're
amazing. They're all good, to be fair. Roy's always, he's always there looking after you.
He's got a few quid into it. Right, couping time, lads. How we were close last week? Anybody remember what we done last week?
What was the game?
No, miles off it.
Miles off it.
Over 2.5, over 6 corners, 2 teams to score.
Aye.
Right, we'll go Scotland, Croatia, lads. Okay, so goals over or under how many goals?
I'm going with Faddy, whatever Faddy.
Go on, Faddy, you're the Scotland man. Willie Wallace, keys it.
We're going to win, so...
Right.
So how many goals, Faddy?
2-1.
Over 2.5. Aye, 2.
Right, over 2.5 goals. Both teams to score, yes or no?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, both teams to score. Corners, over how many corners? Del, you like this one?
Aye. No, I'm going with Faddy.
I can't pick everyone.
Aye, you can.
No, over 5.
Does Scotland get a lot of corners now? They're
I
playing
don't
the
think there'll
wingers,
be a
maybe?
lot.
There'll
Corners,
no be a lot of corners.
Over 5.
There will.
Over 4.
Over
I think they'll
We
be
need
more.
to try and get a win here, don't we?
Aye.
Right, we'll go over 5.
So go ahead. Aye.
Over
right,
5. Over 5 corners.
Aye.
Anytime scorer, McTominay.
Got to be. Got to be.
Aye, McTominay or McGinn.
McTominay, anytime scorer, and then full time result.
Scotland.
Croatia or
Scotland.
Scotland. What does that
Manchester,
pay?
let's go, baby.
41 to 1. Stick a tenner on that, what'd you get back?
Loads of money.
Good. Your
400
tenner back.
what?
410 with your tenner back, yeah. Spot on. Off to Manchester, lads.
Right,
Love
enjoy,
it.
So
mate.
you don't even know the name of who you're about to say?
Role model. Never heard of him, mate.
Yeah,
Is it
near
weird
the
though?
bar.
She's a strange
Just as
person.
well you're going. It sounds like a made up trip, mate. Imagine she's going herself.
Imagine that.
See some guy,
Good idea,
American guy, role model. Aye, enjoy yourself.
Just you stay in the hotel, I'm going to meet this. And then I can get, right lads, love you.
Enjoy, mate.